Welcome to our weekly program, The Inside Story of Chabad in America through the Mindel Archives. This is the third program, a continuation of the previous two programs. And we had, as we spoke, Shabbos Nachmu, there was a Fabringen, and the Rabbi introduced a new campaign. Yud Zayin of, the Rebbe went to the Ehel. Chai of, this is Tov Shimam Ches. You have to listen to the other two programs. The Rebbe called in Rabbi Chadekov and Rabbi Mindel, and he told me Yechides. Tuesday you test, Rabbi Mindel wrote to the Rebbe a report, and Chof of Wednesday, Rabbi Mindel writes a letter to Rabbi Chadekov that he got a message from Rabbi Groner, and the Rebbe wants to know what has been done, and Chof of Thursday, Wednesday, a report continued to come in. As I read to you last week, some names, and there were comments there from the Rebbe. The Rebbe liked it very much. The Rebbe was waiting, and I guess, to go to Eil with that at least. And then Tuesday, Chovav of, Rabbi Groner calls Rabbi Mindel with an answer from the Rebbe, acknowledging and thanking for report. And now I'm going to start here with the letter that that he wrote. Today, before Mincha, Rabbi Leibel Groner called me, means Rabbi Mindel, excuse me, and relayed to me the Rebbe's answer. It was received Chuas Chain with thanks, and thank you in advance for continuation of the report of Thursday afternoon, Parshas Re'eh, how the Rebbe was happy. I know this was Ruchnius. I told Rabbi Groner, and Rabbi Mindel writes, to give the answer also to Rabbi Chadekov before Mincha. And Rabbi Mindel wrote to Rabbi Chadekov, I don't have any additional material to add to the partial report because I did not receive anything from Rabbi Krinsky. He asked Rabbi Krinsky that he should have more to contact more shluchim, but he didn't have anything. He only had what we said. Since I don't have an entire list, I cannot fulfill the Rebbe's will. And he answered the national committee. Rabbi Mindel has only the list of some people who wrote an answer right away. When I will get to the entire list, he writes, I will make a system which the reports will be sent to the Rebbe. Being Rabbi Krinsky is present, it would be preferably that he undertook, Rabbi Mindel writes, Rabbi Krinsky should undertake this task, either on his own or with an assistant, if he is able to do so. And he sends us the report. He sent us the report. This project with its technical points and we need manpower, is time consuming and needs to be established. This is what Rabbi Mindel writes. Now, I want to read something 2 years later. The Rabbi Chadekov is asking the Rebbe Mechila. This is all I guess the Rebbe and had to do right away. He starts the letter. This is a letter of Chaim Menachimov, Tov Shin Nun. The Rebbe called him in Memtes. This is Tov Shin Nun, and this is what Rabbi Chadekov writes. And this is a translation. I'll try to trust as much as I can. Es chatoai ani maskir. My transgressions I'm reminding. This is what it means. Exactly 2 years ago, Yud Ches of Tovshim Mem Ches, the Rebbe began calling on me and Rabbi Mindel, and entrusted us with the holy work to organize among all Anash the holy work over the project of increasing activities, Vad HaMasifim. A, he writes, included here, sending to the Rebbe, the report of the Rebbe's talk with us on that day. He said to the Rebbe. B, a copy of the Rebbe's talk about this topic during Farbrengen Chodesh Elul 1988. We, Baruch Hashem, promptly undertook to fulfill this mission with enthusiasm. My son, Shalom Yisrael, Rabbi Chadukov's son, volunteered to take charge of most of the technical matters, and he, Baruch Hashem, succeeded in this to the utmost. And 3, our introduction of this project of increased activities was well received everywhere, with great joy among the community leaders as well as the individuals. As is known, we submit to the Rebbe from time to time the reports, in these 2 years, which we received from the administration and from institutions, the many, and everything came in already, it's 2 years. The thousands of reports which we received with individuals are still with us. This is why our works, how our works proceeded during the first year from the beginning. At that point, we should have clarified our obligation to continue as above, to future and in which manner. But, he writes, for different and unusual reasons and various distractions, and who knows if some amasli excuse didn't somehow sneak in, our work came to a stop. Even in thought, and certainly in action. That's how he writes to the Rebbe. As we stand today again, on the special day of Yud Ches Menachemov Tovshin Nun, exactly 2 years later, the day when the project began, I feel that the difficulties at any rate have somehow eased. It appears enough for us to resume our work if necessary. I therefore am requesting guidance from the Rebbe to do this, and if yes, what and how? This is what he writes to the Rebbe. So the Rebbe answers in his letter, I'll read this in Hebrew, Kol inyan b'hafotzos ha'mayonis v'hayadus nochutz, all inyanim is important, ubifrat ma'ilim b'kodesh, Elul is melech basodeh, umamshich v'tehei b'atzlocha. This is what the Rebbe answered and Rabbi Chadukov's answer. Then Rabbi Mindel writes Rosh Chodesh Elul. A few days later, he writes to the people, to the Moistes, to the institutions. After the answer of the Rebbe, this is Rabbi Mindel now. Greeting and blessing. The Rebbe has lately been inspiring us during the past few Farbrengen to continue our obligation to increase and widen our work in the increased activities campaign. We, who were appointed by the Rebbe to lead this campaign, have merited a special directive and inspiration from him to infuse our actions with additional vigor insofar as the activities of our institutions and of individuals. We therefore turn to all of you and to each and every one of you to act with strength and zrizus in this most important and holy campaign. Institution by the Rebbe, made by the Rebbe, a campaign, this is written in Hebrew, a campaign which Baruch Hashem has spread the world over and was received with great enthusiasm and dedication in a concrete way and with many practical results. So to expedite these, we attach a copy of the Rebbe's talk with us concerning the matter of the increased activities and the reports to be submitted, and with blessing, and Rabbi Mindel signs this, and a copy to Rabbi Chadekov. So he had sent this to the people, and then he writes in a little note he wrote to the Rebbe. The way he wrote this in Hebrew, the Rebbe started to encourage very much lately. That's right to the Rebbe that Rabbi Mindel wrote another copy to the people, I guess, very much lately by many Farbrengeners about the obligation to carry it out with great simcha and breitkeit in this project of the increase in activities. Those who merited to be appointed by the Rebbe a couple years ago to conduct the committee of Meisifin, and now we are especially encouraged and motivated to strengthen this campaign. The Rebbe answered with increased vitality and strength to all institutions and individuals. Therefore, we are appealing to all of you to speed it up and strengthen your efforts in the participate and continue. This campaign has already spread through Baruch Hashem to the world, and we have to continue doing this. And then he writes, but later on, the Rebbe, I guess, probably gave it over to Agudas Chasidei Chabad, because this is attached, and I don't know what Agudas Chasidei Chabad did. Now, what I do want to say here is that this is something these three programs, the Rebbe wanted something here, and people don't know about it. I don't know what happened to this. The Rebbe needed to know right away, before the Oyel, after the Oyel, and then he was telling Rabbi Groner they should give more and more, and the Rebbe went to the Oyel with that. So we see that the Rebbe wanted this should happen. Maybe it's Inimil Milo. But he did give it over to Aguch. I don't know who Aguch is today. And there's more for Aguch that the Rebbe said. If anybody from Aguch wants to know, they can always call me and I will explain to them what the Rebbe had in mind more. But I didn't hear anything, and this is how it remained. And that's all I heard. So this is what I wanted to report. Now it's already beginning of Elul. So I wanted to mention these three programs, what the Rebbe wanted then. If I wouldn't have mentioned it, I don't think people would even ever know about it. In Mitzvah Shem, next week we'll continue our weekly program. Thank you.